Hello. Hello. Can you all hear me? Hello. My name is Goodle. My name is Goodle, and I'm here to draw some Dungeons and Dragons characters. Hi. This is a super late night stream. This is a super late night, I'm super tired stream, but we're doing it. I mean, it's not as late as a lot of my streams, honestly. Usually I do stuff like an hour later than this. Usually I do stuff like an hour later in the morning than this. This is an hour earlier than usual, but I accidentally took a nap like an hour ago. And I say accidentally because it wasn't planned. It wasn't a planned nap. And luckily, even though I didn't set my alarm, I woke up in time for the stream. But you know, when you wake up from a nap, if it's not like the perfect amount of time, or if it's unexpected, like you feel so much more tired after a nap. Like I do not usually like taking naps in the afternoon or the evening, because then I feel worse afterwards. I feel more tired afterwards. And I woke up and there was like, it was like half an hour before time to stream. And I was like, oh no, now I'm just feeling so dead. Now I'm just feeling so, like, my body and my mind are both so tired. Luckily, it's a drawing stream. You don't want to draw when your mind is tired, but luckily, I already knew what I was going to draw, and so I have my dwarf here who's doing stuff. So, you know what? It didn't seem like a bad idea to keep doing it. I felt like I could wake up a little bit more. I got myself a snack, and I was able to, I still felt like doing the drawing stream because I still wanted to finish this guy. He just needs a little bit of color, and like that's pretty much all. And his pipe, I need to draw his pipe, but a little bit of color in his pipe, and like that's pretty much it. And I'm not even doing like super crazy on the color. It's mostly just doing some splotches. So that's what I'm doing tonight. For the concept for tonight, if this is the first time you're seeing me draw, the concept for tonight is I'm drawing a bunch of D&D characters, but they are D&D characters that were submitted by users on Reddit and Twitter. Like, I posted on Reddit and Twitter that I was looking for material to draw. And what do I love drawing? I love drawing D&D characters. Dwarves, goblins, half-elves, stuff like that. Humans, so many humans. And so I went to Twitter, I went to Reddit, and I posted that, hey, I'm looking for stuff to draw. Give me your D&D characters. I will draw your D&D characters. You can be strangers to me. They can be random characters. Give me just a description of your characters, and I'll just pick some randomly to draw. I got a huge response on Reddit, and so I had to pick from like 100 different characters. This dwarf was the first one that was picked. It was the first one that I just sort of picked out of the crowd. A lot of them I just rolled a D100 for to get that full, true, like, random roll there. And this dwarf was a dwarven sailor who had a pact with a sea hag. He kept on finding seaweed in his pocket, and he's kind of a lean sailor type. So that's why we drew this dwarf right here. And then after this, we have other ones that we're going to be drawing as well. Once we're done with the dwarf, then we'll be moving on to some of the other ones that were submitted by different users as well. I got a bunch of random ones that I'll pick and choose which ones that I want to do first, and then second, and then third from the ones that got selected. So after this guy is done, after my man here is done, I think the next one that I have in line was a shifter. I think it was a shifter, a long-tooth shifter, beast man, and I have an idea for a pose to do for him as well. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks and stuff. We're just going to be doing that. Good morning. Hi, Sprockets. Good morning. I hope you're having a good morning. My brain is completely dead because I accidentally napped. And so now I am exhausted and super, super tired and can barely think straight. Because an accidental nap is never the right way to go about. But I'm just finishing up our dwarf drawing that we were doing last time and then moving on to another character after that. Now, let's see, should we just get started? Is there anything else I need to do before getting started? I feel like we're good. I feel like that's all I really need to do. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I've posted online about it, tweeted and reddited and stuff like that. I started the stream, obviously. Is there anything else I need to do? I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh well. If I forget something, then we will discover it in like an hour and a half, and I'm gonna go, oh fuck, I just remembered I was supposed to do this. And then we can laugh and laugh about it and totally not feel insecure or sad or nothing whatsoever. I will reread the description of this character. Let me find this right here. Hold on 1 second. There we go. I have the descriptions of the characters right here that people wrote for me. I'm going to read the description of this dwarf character as we finish him up. This is pretty much what, I'm not doing any other line art. This is pretty much what it's going to look like, but I need to draw his pipe that he always has, and I'm gonna add a little splotches of color here or there. So the description of this character. Angus Frostflagon, that's his name. That's a good dwarf name. Angus Frostflagon. Yeah, I like that. Angus Frostflagon is a 312-year-old dwarf, a career sailor working on merchant ships. He has been tricked by a sea hag into becoming a fathomless warlock in exchange for saving his life when his ship capsized. Old and weary from a long life at sea, now thrust into service against his will, he is, quote, over it, end quote. He's not an angry man, just old, tired, and grumpy, which is why he's staring at that seaweed all grumpy-like. Already bald, hell yeah, he still has a long gray beard and a bushy mustache, a great big bushy beard, though he has long since given up on maintaining them, so they have grown untidy. As a sailor, he is lean but muscular, accustomed to physical work, but not muscle-bound like other youthful adventurers. He still wears simple work clothes most days, though in his time as an adventurer he has taken to wearing light armor when needed. Nothing more complicated or expensive than a simple leather jerkin that he could slide over his regular outfit. He occasionally wears a headband to keep the sweat out of his eyes. I did not draw that because I wanted to show the bald head. His packed weapon is a bronze trident, granted by the sea hag whom he serves. Since entering into his pact, he also finds pieces of driftwood and seaweed find their ways into his pockets and on his gear. I was originally going to draw some seaweed coming off of... What layer am I on right here? That's fine. I was originally going to draw some seaweed coming off of here as well. But I realized after drawing it that a seaweed right here covers up part of the shape of this trident, and I really wanted to keep the shape of that trident visible. So even though it's very, very cool, and I do like it aesthetically, I had to give it up. I had to sacrifice it just because seeing this cool design of the trident was important enough for me. So he's just going to have seaweed there. Finally, he is never far from his pipe, which we haven't drawn yet. One last pleasure that he can enjoy as he lives out the later years of his life. That's the last thing I need to do is just draw Angus Frostflagon's pipe here. Which we have that one right there, and I can adjust the angle if I need to. Something like that. We're just gonna... Honestly, I could just keep that as is. I could just keep those lines as is. I'll keep those lines, but maybe we want a different angle. That one, if you notice, kind of matches his shoulder, like where his shoulder is, and so when you zoom out, like maybe you can't tell exactly it's a pipe from where you're just looking. You kind of want the pipe to fill up a blank space. So we just need to decide where his pipe goes. It could be something like, you know, like that. It could just be like that, and you won't really see the pipe, but it is in a blank spot on his clothes there, on his armor there. Or draw a line and erase it. It could be like much longer and be a super long pipe like that. Could be like just out of this world long pipe. And there it is, very visible, but also very silly long. So those are the three like positions, and I've tried it on the right side as well, and I don't really like it on the right side. So they're all kind of, they all have their pros and cons, all these different positions. And this is the type of thing that I spend a long time fretting over, because this is composition, this is positioning. The positioning of things is always a big decision. The specific way a line looks, you know, maybe not, but position stuff. This one looks kind of funny. Looks kind of funny. You can instantly tell what's going on from, like, you know, far away. Like even just this tiny little drawing here, you can tell this like someone holding a trident, probably with like a long thing in their mouth. Here you can tell like person like holding a trident, and as you zoom in, be like Yeah, I guess I noticed that pipe there after a little while. And here, if you see smoke coming out, then you would realize that there's probably a pipe going on and would be looking towards it. So this one is good as well. I think I'll go with this one. It's the most visibly clear. Even if it looks kind of silly, it's the most visibly clear. That's nice. That's very, very nice. All right. If that's it, then let's just do a little bit of coloring. Let's see. There's that kind of thing here. There's that kind of thing here. These are all pretty similar right now, the way that they're sized and these two are pretty much the same. I could adjust them if I need to. This one is a bit harder of a line. You can see it's got a thicker center. And then this is a bit of a softer blend. It's not quite as dark. This one, you look at the difference between these two. This airbrush you can still see the arm through, even as it's darkest, but this one you cannot. So let's try the one that you cannot see that you can see the arm through. I guess these are all different varieties of it. Actually, that is not bad. All right, we'll have to pick some colors, and we're just blind picking some colors. So let's do a dark brown, a dark reddish brown, something like that. For that, if we are going here, all right. Something like that for the leather. For the skin, he is a sailor. He'd probably be a bit tanned. So that one we're going to want a little bit redder. And it'll be a little bit darker. Something along those lines. I'm putting these here for later color picking as I look at stuff. So I can see, even though a lot of the similar ones are here as well, there's gonna be a whole bunch here that I don't want to use, and so I'm saving myself some searching time and effort later. His trident is gonna be bronze, so we can find a nice yellowish bronze color. I think it needs to be orangier. Maybe a little bit. Lighter. Ooh, that looks pretty good. That looks very metallic. So let's save that one like that. And then his boots, they're made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days, these boots are gonna roll some dice with you. they are going to be the darker brown color. Darker brown leather. Would they be lighter or the same color? Needs to have some khaki pant colors. Let's go. Pick. Boop, 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 boop. Did you guys know that copper and gold are the only two metals that are naturally not gray, that are naturally not grayish or silverish in color? Every other metal on Earth that exists naturally, like on the periodic table, in its natural, like pure state, is gray. Copper and gold are the only ones that are not. And they have yellowish and brownish tints to them. Copper and bronze and what's the other one? Brass and things like that. Those are all alloys, combinations of copper and other things. And any sort of brown metal that uses them is a combination of usually copper and something else. Now, this is not counting rusted or tarnished versions of things, which sometimes have their own colors. For example, what's the blue one? Cobalt. Cobalt is often described as blue. Like cobalt blue is a different thing, and cobalt can look blue, not in its pure form though. That's in its either it's in its oxidized form or it's in its like smelted form or something like that. But it's the purer the cobalt is, the less blue it will look. And so cobalt is blue, and you can find natural blue looking cobalt, but it is not in that state in its pure form. And other things. Copper actually becomes green with patina when it oxidizes. Or is it bronze? Is it copper or bronze? I think it's copper. Well, either way, there's copper in it, but I can't remember if it's pure copper or if it's bronze. Maybe it's bronze that becomes green over time. Let's go with this. We were doing the wrong one here. And it was something like 200. That's the wrong one. Ah, fuck. I accidentally 200'd the wrong brush. I have a feeling I'm going to need to. I'm going to need to change this color around. Actually, no, that's pretty good. Let's redo. I should do that one first. His pants are going to be sort of khaki-ish. boots. Could be a slightly yellower brown color. That's kind of poop brown. Should we keep the poop brown or should we do? Yeah, this darker one is pretty good. Excuse me. I kind of like the faded look of this. It's the same brown, but this one is much darker and this one's lighter. Now let's redo his skin color, which I feel like also needs to be a little more saturated. No, it should not be more saturated. Okay. Now let's try deleting a bunch of this stuff. Actually, it's okay if it's got some intersection where there's some white space there. Let's use the tool and cut this. Outline this. Whoop. Select it and cut it. There we go. And it's okay if it went through some of the lines a little bit. We're going for just kind of an airbrushed, dirty look. I want to see if I like this style, because this is a very fast style of coloring, which I normally don't have. I normally have a very slow, like methodical color inside of the lines policy, and I hate it. I hate coloring and it takes me forever, and so I'm looking for faster methods. This is partially experimentation. I don't need to worry about that seaweed because it's gonna be a different color anyway. feeling awake now. I think changing up the pant color or the boot color. There needs to be something non-brown to break it up. His beard is going to be whitish gray. That's good. The seaweed is going to be bluish, greenish brown, something like that. I'm going to have gold on. Let's go. Let's make these a little bit cleaner. Doom 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 do 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 go super far down and do the same brass color for the buttons, the clasps. Although I'm probably going to need to redo this because the beard is going to be a larger color that I'll probably draw over it. Where is this khaki color? It's this color right here. Alrighty. Ooh, look at that. Okay, that. The eyebrows and beard are going to be sort of grayish. Ooh, that's a good gray for this. That's a good gray. color pick. Ooh, this. Fill in these fingies a little bit. Oh, I almost forgot. This eye was going to be closed. These boots should be a little bit lighter. Maybe have like gold trim on them. Find the right. I might end up keeping the original one. The original one looked fine. Just wasn't totally. Actually, well, I could use the same super dark for the pipe, and maybe that'll look. But yeah, that matches it kind of nicely. Okie dokie. Very just brown everything. Let's break it up with a little bit of bluish green. more blue than that. A little bit lighter. That's a good color for it. All right, let's add some more colors somewhere. We want either that or some other color to break up the very, very brown aspect. I could draw highlights on the metal. I can draw a little bit of tone on the skin. I feel like the boots or the feet should have something that break up the color. Let's switch to this. Oh, not bad. To have this green be a highlight throughout. Have it be used for like stitching. That breaks up the colors very, very nicely. So I will keep that stitching like that on the boots. I might do something else on this shirt. All right, hold on a sec. We are redrawing these on a different layer so that I can erase and delete them. Maybe. Probably. Yeah, I don't know why I like that green there, but I do. Alright. Honestly, just that little bit is cool. Using the green for the smoke is very, very cool. Thank you, me. You're welcome. I think you're cool too. Okay, let's just add some, like, tone to maybe the skin and the trident and call it a day. This guy's looking good. Thank you, Sprockets. I'm kind of liking the look of this coloring design. It's very simple. It's easier for me to do. Go a little bit more pink. Saturated. Do you want the more red? I think I do want the more reddish look there. Versus the more brownish look. The brownish look is very color good. Ooh. Well, if I need to, it's on a separate layer, so I could delete it, I think. don't like the color mixing as much here. So I will keep it this brown color. No tone on the skin. Let's just add some white. Definitely should not use white for this. Looks absolutely awful. I could do like an overlay setting though. Let's see if I did an overlay. Doesn't really do anything. A darker. I think that's good. I think I can just keep it as is. At this point, I'm just adding extra stuff that I don't really need to add. Just because it might look good. I'm just kind of experimenting. I kind of like it, though. Kind of like that. That looks real good. I'm gonna keep it as is. Save. And this boy is done. This boy is done. Look at this boy. It's very good. I like using the green for the extra stitching. The same green from like the seaweed as the extra stitching. It really picks up the character color very nicely. It's got a lot of browns otherwise. And using the green for the smoke as well is a very nice way to break it up. And that was the first hour. Coloring still taking an hour. Still a little bit slower than I want. But I kind of like this new method of using the airbrush. It's very different from my normal block coloring style, but I feel like it works pretty nicely. Definitely it doesn't feel like I drew it. Just knowing my own style, it doesn't feel like I drew this one. Okay, time for us to work on a new one. A new character. Same size, create. This is another randomly saved one. Alright, which one was it gonna be? Which one did I have set up for tonight? This one. Alright, so by the One Who Wanders, or by One Who Wanders on Reddit. This is a character named Cade. They are a long tooth shifter, so they kind of are like kind of got some werewolf blood in them, or some like were blood in them, and are able to shift between more humanoid and more bestial. Class Beast Barbarian. They're a barbarian that is able to get like animal. It's very just like shifty into werewolf status, like feral status. Like rage and grow long claws and stuff like that. Gender male, age 16, they're young, body type slim to average build, 5 foot 3 inches tall, is pretty short. Features, he has youthful features with short, messy, dark brown hair, green eyes with a yellowish hue, slightly elongated canine teeth, and a light tan skin color. A thick layer of hair lines the back of his arms. His fingernails are thicker and darker, resembling animalistic claws, with his fingers adjusting to it. Adjusting to fit. I'm not entirely sure what adjusting to fit means in this context. If it means that the fingers are longer, or if the fingers, like, have the claws come out of them the same way, like, out of, like, a sheath, the same way that, like, cat claws will come out of fingertips. So I'm not entirely sure what fingers adjusting to fit means, but I'll probably just draw longer, like a fairly normal long hands with long fingers with like long thin fingers with long claws. His ears have a wolf-like point to them with a thin layer of fur coating the back. Gear, he wears a well-made, comfortable-looking shirt. So well-made, comfortable-looking shirt, that could be anything. Well-made shirt and it's comfortable looking. That, you know, kind of means nothing, but we just, the thing that I take from that is that it's comfort. This guy is very casual. He's not, gonna care about fanciness. This is a beast barbarian guy, youthful. You can see hair on the back of his arms, so he's probably got, like, rolled up sleeves. And, like, a comfortable, maybe, like, open-tied, it's not, like, tied shut sort of tunic, which seems very like a guy who'd kind of be like spreading his arms out on the couch, maybe like man spreading, and just like sitting in just total comfort, because he doesn't care about what you think of him. He doesn't care about like looking civilized, because he doesn't care about any of that. He's a beast man. And a worn pair of loose-fitting cloth pants that are torn below the knees. Look at that right there. Torn below the knees. Loose-fitting, torn below the knees. He has a small pack with a few provisions. In combat, he will primarily utilize his natural weapons as his body shifts into a more beast-like form as he rages. So let's draw a very casual, cocky kind of looking pose, like enjoying himself. Very like sitting on the couch with his arms up. Alright, let's save as this character was named Cade. CADE. This is a created document. Good. So I was normally saving this stuff as D and D, and then not as their names, because some of them didn't provide names, more as a description. So this is D&D, Youthful Shifter. Youthful Shifter. Alright, now, without reference, we're going to try to draw a person with their arms up on the back of a couch. I have a feeling I'm going to need to use reference for this, because that's a very specific looking. No, elbows would be up. Like that. Body would first go in and then out. The back would look like that. And legs. Would they be flat on the ground or would they not be? I think they'd be flat on the ground. This right leg, or his left leg. It needs to be at a different angle. I feel like it's going to be more just foreshortened. His right leg is too short for his body size. He is short though, he's 5'3". So that's definitely not the right leg. Do I want this angle though? I feel like his knees will probably be more up. foot maybe not that far forward. This cocky motherfucker. They will reach a certain point where the pose will look fine enough that even if it looks incorrect, it'll be okay. I'm trying to reach that point. No, not his torso. His torso's fine. It looks uncomfortable. How do we make it look comfortable? This is the point where I might need to look up a reference. The foot looking forward. That's not how legs work. All right. Time to look up a reference. Let me look up man spreading. Images. Maybe I should just look up man spreading reference. Look for something at the angle that I want to put it at. since these are all pictures of people, naturally, if you're looking up pictures of manspreading, you're going to be finding people like complaining about guys on the train kind of thing. That all of their feet are inwards. None of them have their feet like outwards. None of them have their legs like elongated the way that this one does. Honestly, that looks, now that I look at it, that looks pretty decent as is. I could get the angle of the legs down with these references, but, or at least the top part of the legs, but not the bottom part of the legs. I need a different reference. What should I look up instead of just manspreading? Sitting spread. Let's just say sitting spread. See what comes up. I now realize that sitting spread had a potential for some very not safe for work options, but it turns out they're not really popping up. They're not really showing. So here's a reference, I guess. This, I think, looks pretty similar to what I did. We copy image and we paste it in here as on web. So this is as an example of a reference. Picture of a person sitting spread-legged. This is at a slightly different camera angle since you can see the bottom of their feet a little bit. You can see it kind of matches the angle that I did. I did a more outwards left leg, but the right leg matches up pretty well. This one, I have a higher butt, like in the reference picture, its butt is a little bit lower. But honestly, this looks pretty good based on this reference. It is a totally different angle, but I'm a little bit more optimistic about it now. Now, how do I adjust the angle? These heels do not match up. This body is going to be on. It's going to be a very straight couch like that. That means this is also going to be fairly straight. So if the seat is kind of like that, then we need to adjust this leg angle to match. Like, we want the heel to be pretty much lined up. that's one way for you to tell with stances and things. You generally want the heels to be on the same plane, to be on the same, like, higher or lower. Unless you, if you're looking at people head on. Unless you have like an angled perspective. Because the toes, no matter where they're pointing, they could be pointing in different directions. But the heel being on the same, like, left-right plane, will make it look like they're both standing on the same floor. That's good. Need to make it more inwards. That's I think, yeah. Kind of looks like a boxer that's like hanging off the edge of the ring because they're losing. Something's still not quite right about this leg. It matched up the reference fairly well, but there's something about this angle. Maybe I should put it inward just to cover up my inability to draw it correctly. No, it doesn't really look like that's how this leg should work. I want to keep this pose, but I need to... figure out what actually looks relaxed. Maybe it needs to be more inwards. Yeah, honestly, okay, I think this angle. Gosh, is there? Ooh, I think we're zeroing in on it. It almost looks like he's like relaxing inside of a pool or like a sauna or something. And that's good. If it can get that vibe, that's pretty good. You hear that plane outside? I don't know why there are planes. Is that like a helicopter or something? That's definitely a plane. Stupid sexy Cade. This I think is a good angle. This works. Spent half an hour just on the angle, but that's okay. It's a very it's very strange, like not make him lean and muscular. We won't see the thumb on that hand. It had curly hair. Easy to fix the face shape, of course. I'm not going to be using this shape. sign with month. I want to fix it from the beginning. I shouldn't go any farther with a shape I don't like. Bushy eyebrows, but thinner eyebrows. A slight point to his nose. Little thingy. Still something wrong about the face shape. I need to figure out what. I don't really like the shape of the eyes. The nose also is... without the nose, The I clearly looks out of place. Not based on I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm gonna save it, but I don't like it. That's a better nose angle. But not for that pose. Oh. Or if we made his eyebrows big triangles. Big lemon wedges. That's a good angle for the bottom part. I guess the head is going to be at a slightly different angle now because of this eye. Yeah, skinnier face. I want him to have bushy eyebrows because everything about him is bushy. Let me look up wolf ears, because they said this was wolf ears. And obviously wolf ears are going to be at the top of the head, so it's going to look wrong no matter what. But maybe as long as I get the shape right. So wolf ears are actually kind of short. Short and triangular. They're not super long. A lot of times. Actually kind of shorter and more triangular. curly hair coming down, messy curly hair. No idea how to draw this curly hair. It's almost looking cute. Almost looking cute. There's almost something there. There's almost something there. Ooh. I need to reduce all the lines, but that's a little bit better. lean it all forward like that. My video just changed. That means it's been 2 hours. And so I'll probably, once I kind of get a feel for the hair, I'll probably end there. I have a feeling when I come back next week and continue drawing it, I will dislike how the eyes and the face looks. I want to do something else with it. So this is the best of the 3 so far. He could have an undercut. On one side. I don't like it as is. But that kind might be alright. Now we're getting somewhere. I feel like that's some better hair. We want him to be hot, curly-haired, confident. Guy who can pull off the pose, kind of thing. I'm probably going to change the eyes. The ears are probably fine. Something similar to that with the hair. We might want to show the canines some way, but for now just the big kissable lip is okay. I doubt anyone is going to be upset that their character is hot, unless they're like really not supposed to be hot. Those are killer shoulders. Yeah, I always draw shoulders super muscular because that helps me define the shape of how the arm is angled. And so the shoulders don't always stay that muscular. But I always draw that little diamond shape to help me know where the arm angle is. So I'll probably fix the... I kind of like that hair shape now. Like, that's kind of the shape that I can go for. The leg shape is good. It's decent. The leg and arm shape is like, oh, it's all okay. It's all fairly good. The torso shape should not quite be that. It should be a little bit more forwards. We're looking at him mostly forwards. He's gonna be wearing a shirt though, so I don't really need to draw all this stuff just yet. It's gonna be, I think, a looser shirt though. Talking about comfortable clothes, so you might see a little bit of chest hair. It's a shifter after all. Maybe like ties here. He's gonna be looking too muscular as is. I definitely need to reduce the arm musculature and like the shoulder, the neck and everything. The head is a little too big for the body at the moment, but that's okay. Cartoons are always done with head being big. Okay, I think I will call it a night there. We finished our dwarf sailor. I like the coloring on that. And we're starting on the youthful shifter. I like some of the face things on here. I like the nose and lip combination, and I kind of like the hair shape and the chin shape. There's a few other things. The eyebrows might be different. The eye shape might be different. The ears might be like different. Like a lot of their shapes are fine. Like their silhouettes are good. That's the thing I like, is that the silhouette is good. The specific look of stuff on the inside might change, but I think this is a decent silhouette for now. I'm already seeing that this arm, I think, will need to be more inward or something. Yeah, that's a super long arm as is. It's gonna be more inward like that. This arm would also need to be... you know what, let's reduce the shoulder as well. We can probably just... something like that. Yeah, look at those monkey arms at that point. And it looks decent from the other angle. That arm needs to be just redrawn, but that's okay. There we go. Okay, that's a good silhouette, a good shape. I'm pleased for now. I'm accepting for now, and that's pretty good for an artist. Command S. Thank you everyone who stopped by. Thank you Sprockets for chatting and lurking. Thank you to all the people just watching and lurking and just having a chill night. I hope that it was an enjoyable stream. Sometimes I don't talk a whole bunch on drawing streams, but just the sound of the background music, the mumbles here or there, I know it's very relaxing for a lot of people. Now, fake mustache off. And put the hand away. It's a good relaxed time. I hope so. That's what I like about drawing streams. If I am looking to just have something on that's kind of chill, something on while I'm doing something else, drawing streams are really nice for that. Gameplay streams are good for that too, but sometimes the excitement of gameplay can not necessarily be for a chill, relaxed time. It's just good for some background. Oh yeah, I want something entertaining in the background. Do you want something entertaining? Do you want something relaxed? Drawing streams are great for that. So, I will be drawing again. I'll be continuing Cade here is the name. I'll be continuing Cade on, which night is it? I think it would be Thursday around the same time. I've been doing 1 a.m. Pacific time instead of 2 a.m. I think that's a good choice because that means I'm still awake by the time I'm doing it, and limiting it to about 2 hours so that I don't get super burnt out. I'm liking the schedule so far. So we'll continue on Thursday and then on Sunday, and I'm just going through a list of characters. We might finish Cade that day, we might not. And if we do, then whenever we do, we'll start on the next character. One of these characters that I already know is, they described this barbarian woman as making your girlfriend swoon at the bar, and they're an Echo Knight, so they have a shadow of themselves, like an illusory shadow of themselves that can do it. And I'm just picturing both hot fighter barbarian girl and her big muscular Echo, both looking both flirting with you at the same time, and they're just as if two hot muscular twins were on either side of you, and you're just oh god, oh no, sweating. And that would be very fun to draw. That means I'm gonna have to draw 3 people if I want to do that, 2 people and a person that they're flirting with in the middle, and that would be a long one. Luckily, one of the fighters, one of the women would just be a shadow, would just be a silhouette that's just stark black, maybe with a few whiter highlights. So I don't really need to draw details, I just need to draw an outline, and then that'll be fine. I can do the person in the middle kind of cartoony. It's really just one, several silhouettes in one detailed person, but still that'll be a longer one, and I do kind of want to do that. I do think that's a funny image. That's what made me, that mental picture, I've been excited for to try that ever since I found it, so we'll see. But that's all. I'm gonna make myself some noodles. I'm feeling a little bit more awake now, which is probably bad because now it's getting closer to sleep time, but I will see everyone later. Goodbye. Have a good night. This afternoon, collab with Megan Martian, Unravel 2, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you there.